I think that's very important. Is somebody from time to time who has been known to browse Silk Alley, I will say it's harder and harder to find good stuff.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I'm doing it just for the purpose of intellectual curiosity.
Of course, nothing else.
No, Ping,
you need a better inside guy.
Watch it there, Dominic. Ping, let me just switch gears a little bit, because you've got the other half of the story that really is also not being told, and that is a Chinese company that has been extremely active really since the mid-90s in assembling a portfolio of acquisitions in the United States. By my count, you've got now at least 28 manufacturing plants in the U.S., over 30 acquisitions over that period. How has that gone for you in terms of, we've heard a lot about high-profile pushback of Chinese investors, with CNOC, Unocal, other types of deals. But you're beneath the radar screen, much smaller acquisitions, but over the years you've made remarkable progress in assembling a portfolio of manufacturing companies. Some tips there.
Yeah, I would say, frankly speaking, it is about the globalization. Whether you like it or not, you don't have a choice. The matter is that everybody has to compete in today's environment on a global cost basis. So, if you talk about a strategy, how do we grow? I always joke, our strategy has been pretty simple, just wait for the customer to call you. Seriously, especially in the last few years, in the automotive sector, a lot of companies got into trouble because they cannot survive on their cost structure. So most of our acquisitions are coming from our existing customers. And I would say half of them, we took them out of bankruptcy or liquidation in the process. So what we can do really, the key actually to both sides is the value creation. We try to come in as one piece of the puzzle, not the whole solution, but at least part of the solution. We try to work with the other side and try to see how we work together to make a better company. And I always say, our strength is that we can speak in Chinese in the United States, and actually that worked out very well for us.
So you have a Chinese company with American characteristics.
Yeah, you can see that, and I would say this, in terms of business, we tend to make them very complicated, but at the reality, it's a very simple issue. Is how do you compete? So as long as you have the best resource, we call ourselves matchmaker. You combine the global resources in the best way as you can, and then you have no question to compete, and you have no issue to overcome the obstacles.
Okay, before I ask you one more follow-up question, I do want to announce that we will be passing out cards for you to write any questions on, and they will be collected in probably about 20 minutes from now. So I urge you to please, as you listen to these insights, to jot down any questions you may have for any of the panelists. But Ping, let me just follow up, because you are in the business of identifying value in the U.S. manufacturing platform. And a lot has been written and talked about the hollowing out and the demise of U.S. manufacturing. And yet you're just moving ahead, acquiring assets of companies and pieces of the puzzle that you obviously think still have an enormous potential in terms of value and return on equity. Can you speak to that, to the any misperceptions there may be with respect to the strength and potential of U.S. manufacturing facilities?
Sure. Again, Wanxiang's experience may not be necessary, across the board can apply to all the industry. But at least to ourselves, automotive industry has been a tough industry, no question at all. However, on the other side, just by our own experience, we have been investing in the auto sector, and our return on our investment has been consistently far better than our automotive investment return in China. And not by a percentage, by many multiplications. Why is that? Again, it's about the value creation. And I remember one time I was in one of the biggest three's plant. We were looking to buy that company because they were about closing them down. So they won't allow us to get into the plant with a suit, tie, no badge, no business card. You cannot call them from the lobby. They say you have to come from the side door and call them on their cell phone. They take you inside, walk through, and they say you're an insurance company. You cannot tell the union because they're going to go on strike right away. So it's a very secretive, So we walk in the door, and we, as always, we are accompanied by the UAW leaders on the floor. So one guy pulled me on the side. He said, "Pin, when are you going to close the deal?" I said, "Oh, no." I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." So the guy said, "Hey, come on, let's be candid." He said, "They pretend nobody knows." He said, "Everybody knows." He said, "We want to work with you. Come on, get the deal done. We support. No issue at all. We understand that we have to compete. It's not an issue about the competition. It's an issue about how do we grow the company." So I was very impressed.
This was the UAW.
UAW leader, yeah. I was very scared at the beginning. I mean, funny, we did a lot of deal before we got into the company. Always strike here and there. After we got into the company, so far, no strike whatsoever. And with UAW, our labor union contract usually vote at the high 80 or low 90% in favor of the contract. I always joke, now we're back in China because in a democracy, you don't have 80, 90% voting.
Well, this gets back to the point that Dominic and I were discussing. At the heart of this U.S.-China trade tension is a lot of insecurity from the standpoint of U.S. labor and the way in which the politicians play on that insecurity. You're talking about a partnership, Ping, with UAW, and it sounds to me like you have very constructive relationships with organized labor.
Yeah, I would say Wanxiang is a very lucky company. We have a good team, good customer base, good timing as well, because now we came here is not taking the U.S. job away. It's more as of a saving the job, which is true, especially in the last 4 or 5 years. And most of the company we bought were out of the bankruptcy. And if we were not there, the company is gone. But I still believe the USA manufacturing has a very bright future. It's not an issue at all. The issue is how do you compete? What is your strength? What is your weakness? You don't want to compete on the weakness. Let's be realistic. If this job, no matter whether it's China or other part of the world, if it does not fit you, then you should move on. The bad part is you keep hanging on the old time and just say, I have to do this because that's my pride. That would never work. That's how Wanxiang grew in China as well, frankly speaking. I mean, in the old time, in the 1970s, it's the same issue because it's different environment, but it's the same issue. You just need to focus on your strengths and to try to combine with other people who has the value that you don't have and to make yourself stronger and then share the result. So it's not an issue at all, as a manufacturer. At least from our point of view, whether we're lucky or not, we do believe as long as you focus on the value added manufacturing and focus on the engineering, focus on the service, manufacturing has to be there, no question at all.
Lou, let me just come to you on that same point. You have a global distribution and manufacturing system, and the fear